I'm the best ever. There's never been anybody as ruthless. I'm Sonny Liston. I'm Jack Dempsey. There's no one like me. I'm from Nairclaw. There's no one that can match me. My style is impetuous. My defense is impregnable. And I'm just ferocious. I want your heart. I want to eat his children. Praise be to Allah.
Joyce just leaked out. What are your thoughts on that, and should that have been something that happened?
Well, it's a mystery why it's been leaked, isn't it? But it's sure it's been leaked for a certain reason. I don't know how old that footage is. All I know is they're both in their 30s now. You've got to look at what they've done over the last few years. You know, Joe's done extremely well for himself. He's got himself into the #1 manager position. We've all seen AJ. We've seen him at the top, and we've seen him in my opinion, decline a bit over the last few years, and certainly in his last fight. I fancy him. That sparring material means nothing. It means absolutely nothing today, where you look what these two guys are. Sparring material I'd like to see. I'd love to see the sparring between AJ and Daniel Dubois. Whatever happened to that?
Talking of Daniel Dubois, what are the plans for the heavyweight prospect?
Ho, 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 ho. Those are the words of Frank Warren, and reference to the sparring sessions and the leaked footage between Anthony Joshua and Joe Joyce. And Frank Warren was like, hey, I know that's why it's popping up all of a sudden, because Joshua got the best of Joe Joyce, especially in the amateurs, and he leaked some footage of them sparring. Okay, now it was two different footages. Okay, for one, we had the this amateur bout where Joshua wiped the floor with Joyce. Okay, he didn't go down, but in amateurs, if you get hit that many times, you're automatically TKO'd. Okay, that's how they rule it. And they had a second leaked footage of Anthony Joshua. It was actually 2 or 3 things of footage that was leaked, but one of them, they were pretty much giving each other the business, fighting toe-to-toe, going back and forth. And the other one, Joshua looked like he was kind of, taking it easy on Joe Joyce, not really trying to, give it his all, but at the same time working on his, defense. Now, for all we know, that could have been a sparring session that it was just for AJ to work on his defense. You know what I mean? Being with a slower guy like Joe Joyce that will throw punches like this, kind of puts you in the mind of a light-skinned George Foreman, right? And so, but we don't know, because that sparring and certain sparring sessions are set up for certain reasons. It's not all you give it your all. There's certain things you work on. Certain fighters are hired to do certain things in this corner, for the fighter, to help prepare the fighter for whatever fight that he's going to have. Okay, so, we have to keep that in mind. But Frank Warren was like, hey, pay that no mind. Don't worry about it. It's just sparring. Sparring absolutely doesn't mean anything. But then he comes around with an unnecessary counter. And what was the unnecessary counter punch? What was it? Oh, well, I would like to see the sparring session between Daniel Dubois and Anthony Joshua. Now, you guys, if you guys don't know that, for you guys that do, okay. But you guys that don't, let me tell you anyway. Bars. The reason why Frank Warren brought Daniel Dubois and Anthony Joshua up when they sparred is because people know the word around the campfire is that Anthony Joshua was knocked out by Daniel Dubois. Okay, and Daniel Dubois did not want to say yay or nay. He did not want to say what really happened, because what goes on in sparring is supposed to remain in sparring. So some people keep that respect, that code of silence when it does come to sparring, and then some people just don't give a shit, like Gervonta Tank Davis, obviously, like Anthony Joshua, because he leaked, some of the footage, and then part of his amateur fight with him where it was stopped, and other fighters, okay, that will expose certain pictures or certain videos to make themselves look a certain way. I remember Conor McGregor did that to Paulo Malignaggi and showed little clips where he was teeing off on Paulie and then didn't show the whole thing. Okay, so, but Daniel Dubois is supposed to knock out Anthony Joshua. And I believe that to be true. I mean, that's no secret. We've heard that. Now, Daniel Dubois just kind of laughed it off. I don't know, I don't know what to mean. All that shit, It's sparring, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, he didn't really want to say, like, no, that didn't happen. He just kind of laughed it off because he knew what happened. You know what I mean? I don't know what he hit him with. I don't know what he caught him with. Joey DeWaco supposed to did the same thing. And he didn't really confirm it nor deny it. So I think that was the way of saying, yeah, I did it, right? But Frank Warren is saying like, hey, I want to see that footage. Show that footage if you're going to show footage. So it was a clever wording by Frank. Good counterpunch by Frank Warren. Okay. Now, the only problem with this is with Frank, right? He should have just came with that full force. Why do I mean? He should have just said, hey, I know why they're doing that for Joe Joyce, because Anthony Joshua got the better of Joe Joyce, and that was some footage and sparring that made Anthony Joshua look a lot better than Joe Joyce. And he already said, well, that's sparring. It means nothing, right? But if it meant nothing, why did you use the same fuel that was against Joe Joyce and turn around and use Daniel Dubois as the same type of ammunition? Counterpunch. You see what I'm saying? Like, why would you do that when you said already sparring meant nothing? If sparring meant nothing to you, why are you bringing up Daniel Dubois? You know what I mean? You should have saved that. You know what I mean? You should have saved the damage control. Okay? He put a cushion down for no reason at all. Okay? Like, why would you do that only to use what you think Anthony Joshua or Anthony Joshua's people's using that for? Publicity. You're trying to bounce back with that, which is clever, but he chose to do the wrong thing. You do not use damage control or try to defend something or try to shoot something down and take the same thing you shot down and try to use it back as ammunition. That's exactly what he did by bringing Daniel Dubois into it. If he was going to bring Daniel Dubois into it, this is what he should have done. He should have then just said, you know what? Okay, fair enough. Sparring is sparring, but what happened when Anthony Joshua sparred Daniel Dubois and got knocked the fuck out? Counterpunch. That's what he should have done. So he shot himself in his own foot, people, by doing that. It sounded clever, but if he wouldn't have used what he used before for damage control, it would have been a lot more effective. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Frank Warren's video saying that Anthony Joshua also is on the downcline. You guys tell me what you think about that. I will leave a poll just for this video and ask that question. I may go live tomorrow. Why not? I messed up my foot, so I'm not really doing nothing physical anyway a lot. But anyway, until then, you guys been counterpunched. Peace.